Evening guys, hope you're all doing well. Today we are introducing a new series on this channel, and it's a series I'm going to call Cigar Box Sunday. And essentially what that means is one Sunday of each month I will introduce you to a new cigar box, part of my collection, kind of talk about the box, talk about the cigar itself, a few kind of key points and information about the cigar, and kind of my overall impressions of this cigar. So it isn't a cigar review where I'm going to be opening the box, picking up a cigar and smoking it. It's more just showing you kind of individual boxes from my cigar collection and kind of going from there, talking about different cigars, but at the same time showing you kind of what I have in my cellar collection, however you want to phrase it, without doing a kind of one just big cellar slash collection tour. And like I said, Cigar Box Sundays will be the title of it and the name of this series. It won't be the same Sunday each month, it will vary and depend, but the goal is to have a new episode every single month, which will go out not necessarily on a Sunday, but that again, being Cigar Box Sundays, that is the aim. So to kick things off, we have this box here. This is a really interesting cigar, one that, particularly when this came out, really excited me for a few reasons, which I'll get into. But yeah, to kick things off, this is a Rafael Gonzalez, which is a brand some of you may have not heard of. If you're very into your Cuban cigars, then you probably will have. It's one of those brands that it isn't a global brand where it kind of you instantly, it's a very iconic name. They're much more of a lesser known brand. Again, like many Cuban brands, they used to be very big, have a kind of very cult following and quite a large portfolio. Now, I believe they might only have 3 cigars in their current portfolio, this being one of them, and this is the new addition. This, for reference terms, as you can see here, is a Rafael Gonzalez Coronas de Lonsdales, and these come in boxes of 10. The Vitola is a Hermosos number 4, which is probably my favourite size. It is a 48 ring gauge by 5 inches, so close to a Robusto, kind of a classic Cuban Robusto is 50 by 4 3/8. This is slightly longer with a slightly narrower ring gauge. As you can see, this is not from the UK market. This box is from Portugal, which is one of the places this cigar was originally released in. This is a regular production cigar that is available to purchase everywhere, but when it first came out, it was only available in Spain and Portugal. Typically, when Habanos brings out a new cigar, they will typically launch it, say, in a particular country, and it will only be available in that country initially for, say, 2 or 3 months, and then it gets opened up to all global markets. So you can see here it's kind of got the Portuguese importer and kind of tax stamps, and you can see here this is what Empor is, the main importer for Portugal and Spain, and you can see here kind of it has the cigar, it has the price €105 for the box of 10, which is, I mean, fantastic. If you think this exact same box here in the UK would be £260, so you can really emphasise kind of the cost difference by buying Cuban cigars in places such as Spain. Is big. So, of course, as with all boxes, Habanos certified, and again, this being a 2021 release, it didn't actually really come out until the end of 2022, start 2023. You can see the box codes here are May 23. And for reference to, you'll see this is double stamped. Habanos started to do this. They don't do it with every box and every cigar, but I personally started to see this double stamping with cigars from 2020. Again, not all boxes. I don't know if there's any common theme to it, if it depends or not, but it's not a guarantee that your box will have double stamps. But of course, you're going to have to hope that it has one. So open this up. As always, your cedar line top, your Habanos certification, which again should be in every box of Cuban cigars, and kind of has your kind of general spiel from Habanos, kind of talk about how to store your cigars, so on and so forth. And then the cigars themselves are hiding behind wax paper. And here they are. Really, really nice wrappers on these. Nice dark cigars. And for reference, for those of you that aren't aware of Cuban cigars and kind of what they're about, something that is quite traditional, which is unfortunate, is the first year and a half, sometimes 2 years of a production cigar, kind of its initial release, they will be fantastic. Habanos always kind of makes a point to really make sure the quality is fantastic, they look great, and they smoke really well. And for about the last 15 years, that's been the case. But what unfortunately happens is after that initial, say, 16 to 18 months, sometimes 24 months, the quality will just start to slightly drop. And a really great example of that is with the Polanaga Galanes. That cigar came out, it was an absolute showstopper, the quality was fantastic, and now the market's starting to see boxes that are coming through that aren't really up to scratch, and kind of the quality is not there. They're still great cigars, but just not as superb as the original release. And I would say, from the colour of these wrappers and the quality of these cigars, I have had one, not from this box, but I have had one with the exact same colour of wrapper, and it did smoke fantastically well. That will be a common theme probably. But again, it can be said for every new Cuban release for about the last 15 years, going back to some of the early days of kind of the maybe early 2000s. It's been a common theme. But yeah, so these cigars are ones that I favour. Personally, I'm a big fan of the Rafael Gonzalez brand, kind of the flavour profile. I think the other sizes, if I remember, is the Rafael Gonzalez Perlas, which I think is a 40 ring gauge by about 4 inches. Quite a short and small cigar. And they do another Vitola, which is, I can't remember off the top of my head, I believe it might be the Petite Corona sized, but very small brand in terms of portfolio now. These cigars, if I can try and get one out without damaging it, it's always the hard part. See here, really nicely constructed, well packed, great pack. Again, really nice wrappers, and the aroma is fantastic, nice and rich. Kind of those rich coffee and chocolate notes that you often find with Rafael Gonzalez. Really a beautiful, beautiful cigars. And if you are fortunate enough to find a box, I would encourage you to grab them while you can. Because again, any boxes you get now are still part of the original release and production, so it means that they will hopefully smoke fantastically well. or you'll have the best chance of them smoking really well. Not to say that in 3 years' time they won't still taste great, but again, a common theme is that the original production is just that bit better. But there we have it. Rafael Gonzalez Coronas de Lonsdale's. Fantastic cigar. I don't think there's anything else I could say about this. Again, only available in boxes of 10. Again, a very common theme by Habanos in recent years is kind of they're starting to make almost every cigar available in boxes of 10, but also in this situation, kind of cigars only available in boxes of 10, not your typical 25. Personally, I don't mind that. As someone that doesn't have deep pockets, I can't afford to go out and buy boxes of 25 anyway. So having the accessibility of a box of 10 is really great, especially to build your collection. If you're someone that is looking to build a collection of cigars, having a box of 10 is really affordable, because instead of buying a single box of 25, typically a box of 10, well, the price point of that box, you could buy 2, sometimes 3 boxes for the same price as a box of 25 of another cigar. So if you're someone that doesn't just smoke a handful of different brands or vitolas, you can really have a very diverse collection of cigars by acquiring boxes of 10. But yeah, that's the first episode completely there, really. Episode 1 of Cigar Box Sundays. Again, for reference, if you are interested in buying these cigars in the UK, quite a great website to use as a reference point is Cigars. Typically, they're relatively fairly priced, sometimes maybe a couple pounds more here or there. But I always like to use them as a reference point for prices. For a box of 10, £260, or for a single £28. But again, if you shop around, you'll probably find it for maybe £26 to £27 a cigar. And of course, if you're in Europe, in particular Spain, Portugal, where this box is from, as you can see, €105 a box of 10, which is really, can't go wrong there. It does show, unfortunately, our high prices here in the UK. But yeah, that being said, hope everyone takes care. You have a great rest of your week. Cheers.